Hey guys, how you going? Now we're going from the bottom to the top because I have a lot bookmarked here, guys. Drew Hernandez said this is insane. Was this kid the Winter Soldier or something? Leading report said breaking local officer back down. One local police officer climbed to the roof and encountered Crooks, who pointed his rifle at the officer. The officer retreated down the ladder and Crooks quickly took a shot toward Trump, and that's when Secret Service snipers shot him, said the officials, who spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity to discuss an ongoing investigation. Well, it's just getting more and more strange. Susan Crabtree said this is a problem that my secret sources have cited. Secret Service resources were diverted to Jill Biden's event and away from Trump's because they follow agency protocol applying to Trump as a former president, according to two sources within the Secret Service community. There are also many supplemental agents from different field offices, not Trump's regular detail, providing security at the rally because Trump's regular detail has been overworked, some working 7 days straight and only 2 counter snipers. But Trump is not just a former president, he's the first in modern history to have run for president again, and he has been the focus of several prosecutions and controversies, understatement intentional. Who made the decision to divert the resources to Jill Biden's event? First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and former President Donald J. Trump campaigning in Pittsburgh today. What is Jill Biden doing campaigning? That's her husband's job, isn't it? Is it? Who else thinks that Jill might be actually running stuff here? Probably on behalf of like Obama and all that, but I still think she's running Joe. That's just my opinion though, okay? Okay, Elon Musk said the New York Times just published this about Trump today. This was 3 days ago. They are truly callous and despicable human beings, not a shred of empathy. He failed the test of leadership and betrayed America. Voters must reject... Oh, wow. That was on... Was that the front page? Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know. Disgusting. Okay, live from Studio 6B. Can someone explain what these three... Where's the other one? These three ladies are doing? Looks like first day on the job. What in the blue hell? Who is protecting the president? Oh yeah, you got to get your glasses on. She doesn't know what... This looks like theatre, honest to God. These three women. It really does. Anyway, okay, let's continue to go on because there's more on that. The nasty Italians said Democrats talking about toning down the rhetoric is beyond comical after all the BS they've been flooding into the mainstream. Okay, we'll skip that one. I'll do that later. Joe Rambo said, you psycho, this bee is trying to blame MAGA for getting Trump shot. Senator London Lamar is an absolute disgrace to this country and should be treated as such. The internet is forever, you nut, and we don't forget. Senator London Lamar said, while I'm praying for former President Trump and hope he makes a full recovery, the extremism from the MAGA regime has brought us to this moment, has it? Because I believe it's the other side. That's projection. Senator London Lamar also said folks are very sensitive right now about where we are going as a country. They should be. Violence has risen over the last few years. Rights being stripped away, and it's sad. If you're mad, head to the ballot box this November. Well, that is the left, okay? Antifa, all of those things. Has anyone done anything since Trump was assassinated, attempted assassination on Trump? And the violence has risen over the last few years from the 3-letter agencies. I believe, this is just my opinion, and organisation from the left. Kate said Jim Chalmers just made a comment, we're going to see more extremism, more violence and more polarisation in our politics. On those points he's right, but some of that comes from his Labor government in this country just as it comes from the Biden government in the US, and more importantly, the leaders themselves. Don't forget the media. People follow the leader, and to many, if it's okay for the leader to denigrate their opposition, then it's okay for them to do the same. And sadly, some take it to the extreme. So people like Chalmers and Albanese and Biden saying it has to stop, has to start with them. They have to stop it. And I agree. The rhetoric. The View, oh my God, it's insane. But, you know, CNN, all of them. Munger said exactly, even those who are still caught up in the Orange Man bad tweets syndrome don't realise it yet. He's also fighting for them. The ignorant sheep really don't know what they are wishing for. No feel for history or the consequences of apathy. Working class bro said, let's be real, Trump took a bullet for all of us today. He took it for all of us that oppose the radical leftist movement that looks to destroy Western culture and Western values. There you go. Liz Crokin said the shot heard around the world has awakened a sleeping giant. This is California. Okay. Then we've got Local Distance. The political right has cultivated writers, academics and public intellectuals that are capable of making the intellectual case for a new political vision, while at the same time employing lawyers, managers, policy analysts and staffers who can execute that vision effectively. Christopher F. Rufo said the difference between Trump 2016 and Trump 2024 is that there is now an emerging right-wing counter-elite with sufficient knowledge, wealth and power and prestige to advance the president's agenda through the institutions. Trump 2.0 will be an order of magnitude more effective. Okay, and here we have it again. Craig Kelly said, following the precedent she set with the images of Bishop Murray Emanuel at eSafety Karen's 12 noon press conference today, she is expected to advise she has used her powers to demand X to remove all images of the attempted assassination of President Trump from the global internet. And given it's so urgent, after lunch she might get around to demand Facebook do the same thing. Milk Bar TV said Australia's eSafety office currently trying to remove all footage of the Trump assassination attempt from the internet. This woman, yeah, this face says it all. Idiot. Okay. Craig Kelly, yep, I read that one. Let's go to the next one. Mel Gibson news. I didn't know there was a Mel Gibson news. This is a price you pay when you take down elite satanic pedophiles. Just a few days ago, death threats against Donald Trump were posted on X without any consequences. This is Mel Gibson news. I don't know if it's actually Mel Gibson. I think it's just someone doing the name. And this is their opinion, okay? It more than likely came from a 3-letter agency, which we know, possibly colluding with the following people: Soros, Obama, Clinton and Pence. Make this viral. Well, no, I'm not going to make it viral. I don't have the ability, but anyway. And this, look, this lady here, right, she does look like she's hanging on for dear life. Not only that, you need people taller than Trump to protect his head, mate. She's not going to protect any. Look how tiny she is. This guy looks like he's cuddling her. Anyway. Gunther Eagleman said the J.D. Vance pick triggered the Liberals really bad. Makes me happy. We'll talk about that later. Now. DC Drano said the fact that Karl Rove is upset about Trump picking J.D. Vance is a great sign that Trump made the right choice. Vance is against the deep state forever wars. Jack Poso said neocon Karl Rove is on Fox melting down right now over the pick of America First J.D. Vance. Sorry, Carl, we're breaking up. It's not us, it's you. It's definitely you. Oh, dear. Okay, now more footage has come out. Test dummy, what exactly is going on here? Things are not adding up. Now, you'll see some Secret Service walk in here and move people. Oh, hang on. Oh, there's someone talking during this one. Okay, let me just make it bigger.
So there's some buzz circulating around the internet that the Trump assassination was an inside job, and they're saying this video proves it. Look at this. Now this guy right here is a Secret Service agent, I imagine. He looks the part. He is coming over, and it looks like he's getting out of where a shot's about to come from. And he tells these people, hey, you might move over this way.
And you know, that's a little bit old.
And he's staying kind of crouched down. like he's expecting a shot to happen.
Take a look at what happened.
Oh, then a shot happens, and he didn't run to protect the president. He stayed ducked down. And I thought he's supposed to run and protect the president. But this guy is crouched down right there. It's like he knew it was coming.
Yeah, and that lady was standing at the bottom of the stairs there.
So
very weird. It's very weird, the things that are going on right now. 5 Times August said it's pretty entertaining watching the party of abortion, body mutilation, rioting, looting, setting small businesses on fire, ripping down statues, who wanted the unvaccinated to not have hospital access and had been super pro-war the last several years, pat themselves on the back as non-violent ones during the last 24 hours. Truly incredible how microscopic their self-awareness is, and I agree. They don't have any. Okay, and Milk Bar TV said watch the real-time attempt on Trump from different angles with countdown from footage of people warning authorities about the person shooter to Trump being whisked away. It's 4 minutes long.
And Son, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened. We have the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we had the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history.
Hang on 1 second. I don't know if you're noticing what I'm noticing. Is this different camera angles? Because okay, it might just be, there's a guy here that's not in this one. That lady seems to be that lady, is that right? This lady seems to be this lady. Can't even see this guy over here. Or this lady. Let me know if I'm wrong here, guys. This person here. Maybe it's a different camera angle. Maybe it's moved over this way more.
Into our country. And then...
oh, this is this lady. Okay, it is.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit over that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that says, particularly what happened.
What was that?
We got breaking news coming in. Shots fired. Seems to be shots fired at the Trump rally. Is he okay? We need to go live right now. We don't know if President Trump has been shot. We know he hit the ground. We do not know if President Trump has been shot. He's up. He's up. Shots are still continuing to be fired. He's giving a thumbs up, everybody. He's giving a thumbs up. Breaking news right now. This is Vanessa Broussard. Reporting to you live from Butler, Pennsylvania. We hear shots fired at the rally not 10 to 15 minutes after President Trump arrived. He hit the ground. Unheard of yet if he has been hit by gunfire.
This whole thing is weird. This lady gets him in and then she's got her arms up like her arms are going to protect Trump's head. Anyway, she sticks her sunglasses on really quickly like they matter more. I don't know, this is so strange to me. Okay, it gets worse. DC Drano said, I now have clearance to disclose where these viral media instructions to downplay the assassination attempt of President Trump came from. The news director of Fox 5 San Diego and KUSI News in San Diego, and you know who owns them? Nexstar NXST Media Group, which has 200 owned or partnered stations in 116 US markets, reaching 220 million people. Yes, the largest news broadcasting company in the country wanted to downplay Trump's assassination. So that was the list I read off the other day. Okay. And it's a media outlet that conservatives tend to trust, being Fox, was it? Yep. Okay, so there's that. Then we've got this. The Rubber Duck said, is this prima facie evidence that local police and law enforcement were in fact engaged with the threat in the seconds leading up to the failed assassination attempt on Donald Trump? The building looks surrounded while boots on the ground are looking towards the roof. Now, that's the same footage as we've seen before. There is a cop there. Okay, let's keep going. Steve Mudflat McGrew's Remasculated Podcast said, hey, Uber, care to comment? Because these people are getting called out now. Libs of TikTok say, meet Eric Cartwright, a senior program manager at Uber. He's very sad that the shooter missed and hopes an attempted assassination happens again and is successful. That's what they're doing. He moves with pride. Yep, okay, that says it all. We've got Trump Vance, VP pick, 2024. We have Wall Street Silver said Germany's turning into a third world shithole. Wow. Is that one of their national parks? Holy guacamole. Okay, I'm going to just keep going over this. Okay. Christopher F. Rufo said the Secret Service has separate physical standards for men and women agents. They are admitting that DEI is more important than competence. This is a recipe for disaster, and if he is elected, President Trump must abolish DEI from the federal government. There you go. Not only that, look, the women have a place, okay? They do. I'd say it's more behind a desk, writing up reports, things like that, but that's just me. But hey, if they wanted to get right in the field and protect people, why don't they give them to someone who's as short as they are? Like, why aren't they looking after Pelosi, or I don't know how tall Jill Biden is, but hey, give the ladies to them. I bet you they have big, strong men around them ones. Libs of TikTok said, meet Janice Spins, a nurse at NYP Hospital. She's mad at the shooter because he missed. Any comment? The shooter that has got to be the most universally hated to see on the planet right now. Yeah, says it all. Liam Rafizadeh said, let me help Liberals understand. If you say Trump's rhetoric caused January 6th and is responsible for that, then you have to agree Biden's rhetoric caused Trump's attempted assassination and should be responsible and impeached for such a thing. In addition, if you called this staged on behalf of Trump, then you should be more than fine with conservatives saying things are staged too, no? Facts are facts. Okay. Oh, the classified documents case has been dismissed because Jack Smith isn't a real special counsel, which we know. Okay. Alison Dyer said, you win the internet today. George Takei said, Trump remains an existential threat to democracy. We'll defeat him with ballots, not bullets. Clandestine said, if you all could defeat him with ballots, you wouldn't have tried the bullets. Exactly. Cat Turd said, nothing to see here. Breaking 911. FBI has accessed phone of would-be Trump assassin. Preliminary analysis gives no indication of motive, says NBC. I heard they couldn't get his phone, that he didn't have one. They couldn't find it. Not the B. He said the Washington Post is really out here reporting on the Taliban tackling climate change. Oh dear God. Okay. Ryan Savadra said, Joe Biden is already back to calling Trump a threat to democracy just 2 days after he was shot by a would-be assassin. Joe Biden said, here's the deal about J.D. Vance. He talks a big game about working people, but now he and Trump want to raise taxes on middle-class families while pushing more tax cuts for the rich. Well, I don't intend to let them, and if you're with me, pitch in. No, he's not. No, he's not. That's a lie, Joe. Okay. Okay, Colin Rugg said, just in, the building that Thomas Crooks climbed on top of and fired from was a staging area for the police tactical team, according to ABC News. Holy shit. The building where gunman Thomas Crooks scrambled onto the roof and opened fire was the staging area for the local police tactical team doing overwatch of the crowd. 2 law enforcement officials told ABC News. Investigators are trying to figure out how Crooks was able to get roof access with the police inside. They didn't hear anyone climbing on the roof? Tin roof, you'll hear it. I'm telling you, I got one. You'll hear it. There's no way. Libs of TikTok said, holy shit, this is disgusting. Harry's Banana Farm said, how do you miss a head that's inflated? Wow. That is disturbing. Okay, anyway. Yeah, there's the phone number, and yeah, God. It's a dive bar. It's in Florida. Okay. May said if only you could figure out the main source of the vitriolic, divisive rhetoric. Okay. Let's have a listen to this again.
I want to speak to you tonight about the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors. We're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're fellow Americans. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans quote a clear and present danger to our democracy.
Where does that rhetoric come from, Joe? When you work it out, let us know. You probably will never do that. Okay, Colin Rugg said new comedian Jack Black's bandmate makes a birthday wish during a performance in Sydney, says he wishes they didn't miss Trump next time. Black was videoed giving Tenacious D band member Kyle Gass a birthday cake. Make a wish, Black said. Gass then responded, don't miss Trump next time. The crowd seemed to think the joke was funny. Maybe, just maybe, these people are actually the evil ones. Okay, let's have a look.
Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
Yep, the people in that audience, seriously, clapping. Dr. CIET17 said, wonder how much JD Vance, like Trump, has to keep up optics for a certain country. Optics, guys, optics. Steve Cortez said, watch this video if you want to know who JD Vance. We'll do the JD Vance later. Okay. Another one, Constitutional Gator. Look at this one I found on Facebook. Disgusting. Linda Peterson said, damn it, he didn't die. Well, at least one supporter did. I'll take what I can get. Oh, my God. That's not the only thing. There's a guy called Destiny, and he's all over YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and X. And he got, at least, I don't know if it's banned from X or just got his account suspended, because he said the same thing that this lady did and more. He goes right into it. He was on Piers Morgan talking to him about it. Oh, honestly, the things he said, that's disgusting. If you wish, that them dead, like even Joe Biden, we want him held to account. Hillary Clinton, we want her held to account. And then if that involves justice and the death penalty at the end, that's what it is. If they have to go to Gitmo or another prison or something, that's what it is. Wall Street Silver said this is one of those silly things politicians do. They announce plans they cannot enact and never have a chance of passing Congress, but it gets Joe a headline and the low information voters think it's real. He plans to cap rent increases at 5% annually nationwide. The proposal would strip a tax benefit from landlords who don't comply, which would almost certainly require Democratic control of Congress. Hey, there you go. Rumours are the Lioness said, rumours are the attempted assassination of President Trump was an inside job. This video is highly disturbing. We need to know who this man is. We do. Who was he? And why did he do that? Anyway, I think it's the same video I showed before, so I won't do it again. Michelle Langlois said, just having a hell of a time, eh? Say cheese. Cheese. Everyone here seems to be laughing, having a good time, laughing and smiling for the cameras. Kind of like they know. This photo was digitally altered with AI to make it look like members of the SS were smiling. They are not in the original photo. And I do believe that. I don't think they did. Because we watched the original. She's just happy to be hanging on to Trump. Anyway, okay. The real Cherokee Owl said, you didn't say crosshairs, you said it's time to put him in the bullseye. You said what you meant. RNC Research said NBC said you called him President Trump an existential threat and it's time to put him in the bullseye. Biden said, I didn't say crosshairs. No, he didn't. He's right about that. He said bullseye, not crosshairs. Let's have a listen.
You called your opponent an existential threat. On a call a week ago, you said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that
I didn't say
words
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
You called your opponent an
Yeah, no, you didn't say crosshairs. You said bullseye, you idiot. Anywho. Okay, then we have this one. Geoloff said the event that changed the man, is that change temporary or permanent? Only time will tell. Matt Wallace said this interview President Trump did just give me chills. Former President Trump has completely rewritten his convention speech in light of the assassination attempt against him on Saturday and will call on Thursday for a new effort at national unity. In an exclusive interview with the Washington Examiner a day after being hit by a sniper's bullet, Trump said he wanted to take advantage of a historic moment and draw the country together. The speech I was going to give on Thursday was going to be a humdinger, he said. Had this not happened, this would have been one of the most incredible speeches, aimed mostly at the policies of President Joe Biden. Honestly, it's going to be a whole different speech now. He has switched, he said, from planning to excite his voter base to one that demonstrates his belief that the attack on him at the rally in Pennsylvania had changed the election campaign entirely. Both Republicans and Democrats have acknowledged this in the aftermath of Saturday's shocking incident. Trump said people all across the country from different walks of life and different political views have called him, and he noted that he was saved from death because he turned from the crowd to look at a screen showing data he was using in his speech. The reality is just setting in, he said. I rarely look away from the crowd. Had I not done that in that moment, well, we would not be talking today, would we? Talking as he boarded his plane in Bedminster, New Jersey for Milwaukee, where the Republican National Convention starts Monday and lasts through Thursday, Trump said his speech will be the moment that history demands. It's a chance to bring the country together. I was given that chance. Early Sunday morning, Trump posted on Truth Social that it was God alone who prevented the unthinkable from happening, and that he would fear not. Again, in talking to the Washington Examiner, he invoked God for his deliverance. This is a chance to bring the whole country, even the whole world, together. This speech will be a lot different than it would have been 2 days ago, he said. The Washington Examiner's interview with Trump had been due to take place on his airplane on the return flight from Raleigh to Bedminster. That arrangement put this reporter just feet from Trump when he was shot. Trump hailed Corey Competore, the former fire chief who was shot and killed at the rally, and two other supporters, David Dutch and James Copenhaver, who were wounded and are recovering at a local hospital in stable condition. Trump said his decision to raise his hand when the Secret Service was letting him off stage was to let the people know he was okay and that America goes on, we go forward, that we are strong, he said. The photograph of him holding his fist in the air, blood streaming across his face as the agents surrounded him, has already become the iconic image of the 2024 election. If he speaks at Milwaukee of uniting the country, it would echo President Ronald Reagan, who in 1981 projected strength as he too recovered from wounds far graver than Trump's, inflicted by a would-be assassin in Washington, D.C. Trump said when he stood up and saw the crowd had not moved, he needed to tell them that he and the country were going to be okay. The energy coming from the people there in that moment, they just stood there. It's hard to describe what it felt like. But I knew the world was looking. I knew that history would judge this, and I knew I had to let them know we're okay. Per the Washington Examiner. Yep, God bless President Trump. Oh, like Geoloff's one. Okay. And Andrew Tate. Okay, let's have a listen to what Andrew Tate has to say.
Go. Let's assume the Secret Service are not compromised, and let's assume they did not deliberately ignore a shooter on the only building in the vicinity's roof long enough for him to get off shots at the president before they neutralized him and he couldn't be interrogated. Let's pretend that they're not compromised and instead they're just grossly inept. Then you have to come to the conclusion that this is just a lone wolf, crazy guy. He wasn't inspired in any way. He wasn't given a free shot by the deep state. No, this is just some lone wolf crazy guy. Well, my question there is, we're often told about how dangerous the rhetoric of people on the right are. How an anti-immigration rhetoric or an anti-LGBT rhetoric fosters hate and it makes it dangerous for people to go about their lives. Are the left going to take any accountability at all for their rhetoric, calling Trump literally Hitler and the next demon who will destroy the entire democracy of the United States and by extension the Western world? Are they responsible for their words now if the story they want us to believe that this is just a lone wolf is true at all? Or is it only us who are responsible for trying to protect things like our nation and our sovereignty and our religion and our towns and our cities? Are any of them going to say sorry for the shit they've been talking for years? Or are they allowed to say whatever they want despite consequences? All of their bullshit pandering now. We don't believe in political violence. We didn't want this to happen. We're glad Trump's okay. No, you're fucking not. No, you are not. You've been calling for this shit to happen. This is passive aggression, feminine garbage. I didn't start the argument. I did bit. You know exactly what you did. You've been praying for some fucking moron to try this based on the words you've been purporting and pushing to the populace endlessly since 2016. These people need to be held accountable. And if they're not going to be held accountable, then I hope the right get their balls back and start saying exactly what they fucking think, when they fucking think it, the way they want to say it, and stop sugarcoating everything and washing everything down. Because you can't find any men left on the internet or the world who say it exactly like it is anymore. They're scared. Well, if these people are going to say whatever they want and incite genuine violence, you should say whatever you want, considering you don't incite violence. Who's attacking the left-wing politicians? Even though they're the ones who locked us in our houses, forced everyone to get an injection, flooding your cities with migrants and illegals. Who's attacking them? Nobody. So who's actually inciting violence?
Exactly. Now, I don't always agree with him, but I do on this. Okay, Geoloff said, yep. Johnny said 2024 in a nutshell. Pretty much. Yep, aliens running in the background, explosions happening, it's raining in your soup and your wine, and yep. Yep, and there goes the tank. Yep. It's pretty much right, yep. Yep, there goes a little alien. Okay? I'll go over that one later. Let's go through this. Geoloff said something is very definitely rotten in Denmark. Even if everything else failed, there were 2 service agents with their sights aligned. They stood down for many seconds, if not a full minute, before engagement and disposal. Why? Inside game. That's why. I think I did share Candace Owen the other day. I believe it was the same clip. Okay, Geoloff tagged me in this. A lot of people were awakened today. Wall Street Apes said the Donald Trump assassination attempt just woke up the world. The video is already approaching almost 250,000 likes. There is one president in this race that had an assassination attempt taken against him. As a matter of fact, if you think back to the last president that had an assassination attempt to take him on him, that has gotten this close, you're going to go back a ways. And if you actually look at the presidents that were assassinated, and you look at what they were doing to the government money, you would realise the reason they were getting taken out isn't because some random Joe Schmo downtown doesn't want that president. It's because the system feels threatened. You awake yet? Let's have a look.
So an assassination attempt was just made on President Donald Trump, and I don't think it was successful. I think he got grazed in the ear. I'm not going to fearmonger you guys and do the whole conservative, oh my gosh, Trump's shot. I think he's fine. To the knowledge that I was able to find through a few minutes of research, because it just happened a few minutes ago, he's fine. But here's what I want to say, and I've been wanting to say this for a while. I am so tired of these diluted American brains that are listening to this theater script play out on television, telling them that reality is one thing, and they're not smart enough to step out their door and realize reality is completely different. We have the news telling us white supremacy is one of the biggest threats to our country. We have people telling us that the conservatives are the same as the neo you-know-whats. They have people saying that ultra MAGA is violent. They have people saying that Trump's trying to overthrow democracy. They have people saying that all of the violence and the civil unrest and the inflation and everything is conservative Trump fault. And I'm tired of it. If you aren't smart enough to step outside your door and look around and be like, all right, hold up. This theater that I'm watching inside isn't matching what's going on outside. Learn to do your own research. I am tired of you guys just running around, I'm a proud American, and then opening your mouth to be spoon-fed information so you can palate it. Because if you ever had to draw your own conclusion or connect your own dots, you would be completely lost and probably dye your hair purple. There is one president in this race that had an assassination attempt taken against him. As a matter of fact, if you think back to the last president that had an assassination attempt taken on him that has gotten this close, you're going to go back a ways. And if you actually look at the presidents that were assassinated and you look at what they were doing to the government money, you would realize the reason they're getting taken out isn't because some random Joe Schmo downtown doesn't want that president. It's because the system feels threatened. It's not some random person that's living out in the country that's like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take out Donald Trump. No, this is a systematic approach, right? Their first approach was, hey, we're going to make sure that Joe Biden gets elected and we're going to make sure he gets the votes. He got the votes. Boom. This time around, they were going to do the same thing. They were going to put Joe out there. He was going to get a landslide of votes. Joe was going to win again. But here's the thing. They decided instead of trying to do anything risky, let's just put our opponent in prison. Let's do it the legal way. Let's send him through the judicial system, get him locked up so he can't run for president. And that failed. And as a matter of fact, it garnished more support for Donald Trump. So they were like, oh crap, Joe Biden, you got to get out there and debate. You got to make sure we can sell how many votes you're going to get and people are going to believe it. But guess what? Joe went up there and fumbled the ball. It's not a coincidence that this assassination attempt happened right after Joe Biden completely fumbled the bag on the debate stage. And all of a sudden, even his own supporters are calling for him to step down. And now the system that you supposedly hate but somehow still vote liberal, that system is panicking. And the only other option they have, since they already exhausted the fake vote, they've already exhausted the legal proceedings, and now their only option is left with desperate, take him out. If you guys can't actually see this playing out, then I don't know what you're on, but I'm so sick and tired of the mentality that Americans have, being like, well, no, start paying attention. Start paying attention. The presidents that get taken out are the presidents that threaten the same system that you complain incarcerates black people, the same system that won't give you health care, the same system that's doing everything that you've complained about for decades, yet somehow you keep voting for Joe Biden 1994 crime bill, Kamala Harris imprisoning black people on minor marijuana charges just to put people on our prison workforce. If you don't wake up and smell the freaking flowers, I don't know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Stop thinking like they're telling you how to think and start thinking for yourself. When you go vote, there's one guy that's taking out the system that hates you, and there's another guy that's making that system stronger. You make that choice.
I agree. Anyway, Sarah Gonzalez said they played over a minute of Donald Trump dancing at the RNC convention tonight before they introduced him, and I can't stop laughing. Okay, let's have a look.
When you're short on your dough, you can't stand. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
The Trump dance. Do the Trump. I'm going to call it the Trump. Okay, that is the Trump. Okay. Sebastian Gorka, DRG, said 48 hours ago they tried to assassinate him. Then they played some golf and he played some golf and got on his jetliner. Then he ordered the fake president to give RFK Jr. protection. There is no leader alive today like this man. We do not deserve him, but God has a plan for President Trump and us. People saying, why did he have the thing on his ear? Why did everyone wear masks for so long? James O'Keefe said this guy is a staffer on Trump's media team. When the bullets started flying, he was 5 feet in front of the president. His first reaction, he got on top of 2 female reporters. One was Selena Zito and protected them. Courage, pass it on. Okay. Who's this guy? Why does it look so... I don't know. It looks fake. I don't know what's going on here. Ashley St. Clair said, I've never seen Trump look so emotional and moved before. Hard to watch without tearing up after everything. America has your back, Donald Trump. Let's have a look at this one. God love him. Seriously. Okay. Then we got this. Laura Loomer said, just a photo of the FBI destroying the crime scene where the shooter opened fire to assassinate President Trump. Unreal. They're hosing it off now already. Okay? It seems that the FBI cover up for the CIA. I don't know. What do you reckon? Okay. Live PD Dave said, who thinks Mark Hamill, who mocked President Trump's ear bandage tonight, is a vile, low-life piece of shit? Yep. Okay, Matt Walsh said Biden calls the attempted assassination of Trump not appropriate. That's what I say to my kids if they belch at the dinner table. That's not a term used to describe assassination. This is the weakest, most pathetic man to ever occupy the White House. Let's have a look.
But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well.
Yeah, not appropriate, mate. That speech is not appropriate. DC Drano said, now this is how you protect the president. Trump gets the Secret Service A-team now. Look how tall they all are. Okay. He's got it now. And they're mostly men. Okay. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm a woman. So, I mean, I just don't think it's a good idea to put little women in big men's jobs. Kyle Becker said new Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle, good friend of Jill Biden, and the new face of America's competency crisis, didn't post snipers on the roof where Trump was shot at because it was a sloped roof and she was afraid someone might slip and fall. You can't make this stuff up. That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point, and so, you know, there's a safety factor that will be considered there that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof, she told ABC. So, you know, the decision was made to secure the building from inside. Oh, dear God. Yeah, I think I think the first guy was the one. I really do. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Terrence K. Williams said, oh my God, Elon Musk is going to help Trump save America. Elon Musk is donating around $45 million to a pro-Trump super PAC. Do you hear me? Not $45, not $4,500, not $45,000, but $45 million American dollars. Thank you, Elon Musk. Let's show this man some love, pass this great news around. There you go. Repost it for you. Okay. Libs of TikTok said Donald Trump Jr. just committed murder on live TV against this reporter. Are you ready?
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way as possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay, sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
What is that change going to look like?
There you go. Out you go. See, that's what the left would say, though. He just committed murder on live TV. Okay, Colin Ruggs said just in, CNN host loses it after former US Army sniper Corey Mills suggests that the July 13 assassination attempt on Trump could have been a setup. Holy shit. Mills explains how everything about the incident made no sense, and CNN anchor Kate Bolden was visibly stunned and desperately tried to combat Mills' statements. Mills made it very clear that he was simply examining all options for what may have happened, which is what the police do when they have to work out what happened in any case. They become a bit conspiratorial theorists. Let me say that again. Mills made it very clear he was not asserting the incident was a setup, but said it should be considered during an investigation. Corey Mills served in the US Army as a member of the 82nd Airborne Division and Joint Special Operations Command. And it goes for 8 minutes.
You know, I look at all of these things, and I look at different videos where an assailant will pull a firearm on a law enforcement officer, and the first thing they do is they immediately pull and draw and mitigate the threat and the risk. You know, I ask why the local law enforcement officer did not do so. The other thing is that when you set up an advanced team, I keep hearing this about the perimeter elements.
Yeah.
You know, the perimeter is actually established by your threats that are in the area. So if I don't have any threats outside of 100 yards, okay, fine, I can cordon off a certain area. But if I have a building 160 yards, perfectly adjacent to the stage, that's an obvious threat, especially with an elevated position that has overwatch. That's a sniper's paradise. And, you know, we talk about Eagle's Nest. You also have, which no one talks about, but the water tower.
So what I'm hearing from you is it's not a failure on the ground for sure, but 100%. Also a failure in advance?
I think it's a failure in advance. I think it's a failure to have the counter snipers to be able to establish their range fin and their sketch maps.
I also heard we've also learned that local snipers were stationed inside that building.
I haven't heard that piece of it yet, but that doesn't necessarily make sense unless they were actually in a window which was backed off, because a lot of times you'll get yourself in there. Sometimes you expose your rifle in a way to try and do a force protection or a show of force that actually stops things. Others are actually more tactical where they'll sit back a little bit, but a sniper for the law enforcement is only trained to shoot about 75 yards, unlike your counter sniper teams that are on set. But here's my problem. In having done this for so long, they always say the adage of ignorance is bliss, and I think that's true. I've done thousands of advances. I've done thousands of counter sniper operations with our teams in Iraq and Afghanistan, etc. The amount of negligence, the amount of mistakes that was made here, I have a very difficult time not leaning myself towards this was intentional as opposed to fecklessness.
But wait, talk to me about that. I actually heard you say this right the day after, which I wanted to ask you about. What do you mean intentional?
You know,
I mean an intentional failure on the part of...
No, I wouldn't say an intentional failure on the part of, but I gotta just, you know, I sit here and I scratch my head, and you don't want to be the conspiracist, you don't want to be the person.
I'm telling you, because that's what it's leaning toward.
No, I know, and that's the issue, is that you walk this fine balance of, you're not trying to be a conspiracist, but you look at it and you go, how could this have gone so...
But it's one thing if someone on the street says it. It's not. I mean, you, Corey Mills, member of Congress, former sniper, you saying it. I mean, it makes my eyebrows go up. When you say you're walking the line on this, intentional what?
You know, it almost seems to me, and I think that an investigation is necessary at this point within Congress, not just the FBI, not just others. You know, I look back at it and I'm thinking, all right, you know, for an individual, if you looked at the escalations and how they are trying to approach him, let's just say that it was like, okay, first we want to censor and silence you, then we want to indict and imprison you. Now we're attempting to kill you and take you off the stage.
Whoa. You, let's slow down.
Please.
I'm hearing two things from you. I don't want to jump ahead of things, but I'm also hearing...
She is really trying. She keeps putting her hand on his arm as if to shh. That's what it looks like to me.
Hearing you jumping ahead of things.
Well, actually, I'm just looking at all the different possible capabilities. You know, one of the things as a military member, one of the things as a person who's run in the special operations communities before, one of the people who's actually done this is that you look at all potential analysis, right?
Donald Trump and his team have said, do not,
no, I agree.
Dial it back. Do not blame this on Joe Biden.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't say Joe Biden, to be completely
Who's the
clear.
they then? Let's be very specific.
Well, that's what the investigation has to do. Was it local law enforcement that had made the mistakes? Or was there something to it? Was there other types of things that we need to be analyzing or looking at and providing analysis? My point is that when something's so significant, you're talking about something that hasn't happened in decades, right?
I totally...
But my point is this. From a perspective of someone who's actually conducted these are not difficult...
I think someone's in her ear talking, telling her to stop him. So interrupt, ask a question. Okay.
Advances. This is not like I'm putting together a stage placement in a tight shot. This is about looking at your surroundings. What is my green, yellow, and red route, which is your routes out in case? What is my actual elements that I need to be looking at as far as mitigating threats or risks or increased levels? Where's my range fan for the sniper that says, okay, here's my 100, my 200, my sketch. Here's an area where someone could shoot. Because here's my thing.
So you're
Let's
saying,
just say it's a Royce element.
You are saying this is so basic that how big the screw up was, that's what's leading your brain down down this
That's
road.
exactly right, in a way.
Look,
but because here's the other thing. Let's
Tom
just say
Emmer
it's
was
a
just on.
resource.
Tom Emmer was just on with me, and he said very specifically to me, I wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
He said very clearly, it is too early to be talking about who is at fault and who is responsible.
That's why an investigation is necessary.
Exactly.
Is it not dangerous? Is it not reckless to even be throwing around the word intentional right now?
So to question things as we do an investigation is recklessness, because at that point, then should we never question anything? My point is this.
I'm not trying to be PC. My point is in the political environment that we are in.
What would it have taken, right? Let's just say that resources was limited. Let's go with that as a reasoning. So how many times have you seen where they just put a police car inside of a parking lot with not an officer in it and just leave the lights on as a deterrent? Why couldn't that have been a simple thing that was placed in? Why couldn't we have said to the owner of the actual AGR company, hey, look, we don't want to disrupt your business, but we also want to make sure your parking lot is clear of people trying to park in there for the rally?
She is. Someone's talking in her ear, man. She's got to keep trying to interrupt and stop him from saying they don't want you to question anything. Not at all. And there does need to be an investigation. And in an investigation, people ask questions, no matter how far out they might be.
Why don't we place an officer there? My point is that this was too easy of a solution. And when I think about 160
I'm just so uncomfortable with even having
I'm uncomfortable with having to say it. Trust me, my whole point is that I would like to look at this and say, where was the mistake made? How can we correct it in the future? Why was this actually done? But I think that this does warrant a J13 type of commission where we can actually look at it and say, let's investigate and find out why this happened so it doesn't happen to anyone. This is not about a political thing. This is about we had an attempt to assassinate a president.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to understand what a serious matter this is. And this was a milliseconds or millimeter difference between this being an attempt and this being an assassination. And I can tell you, at 160 yards, Kate, just to give you an idea, your off-the-shelf rifle shoots what they call 1 minute of angle at every 100-yard line. So at 100, it's 1 inch. 200, 2 inches, etc. So now you're talking about 1.6-inch grouping capability of a rifle off a manufacturing line. Your average human being, because we used to do this in understanding sniper training, you're 20 inches shoulder to shoulder, 40 inches head to waist, and you're 6'8" in your average head size. These are kind of the dimensions that you look at as an average. You're talking about a 1.6-inch grouping for multiple shots on a basic rifle. We're blessed, and I do believe in divine intervention, so I am a person of faith. I can't explain one. I hope that it was a corrugated roof and maybe he slipped off on one of the edges of the corrugated roof or he was rushed. But the whole thing, I think, just needs to have a better explanation so that the American people and everyone can feel comfortable.
And I think that's why people are saying pump the brakes, because we've seen conspiracy theories, honestly, on the right and the left. I just had Donny O'Sullivan on, that it's already going like wildfire. This is the kind of political environment that they're saying it's too hot and people are jumping to too many conclusions.
Well,
that's why I am so uncomfortable.
As a military member, one of the things that we do is we what if scenario everything in the world, right?
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I'm just saying, if it's
it's not right for the public to do that, though. No, it's not right for the public to do. They can do it, but we can't.
What if you talk about maybe in an investigation, and the what if that you are presenting on live television? I don't know. It's just
so listen. I'm a public official.
Yes.
Anything that I do, anything that I say,
is public.
I say in the public. I don't try and hide it in private. I think that the American people need transparency, accountability, and accessibility to the elected officials, not to try and hide behind what we want to look at. And I also think
doesn't.
If the American people know that we're questioning these things as well, it puts them at rest to at least know, why aren't they at least looking into this? Why we should look at every single situation which is of this significance. We should look at it from multiple angles to ensure that nothing is left out, nothing could be potentially claimed as being covered up.
Yeah.
We need to have more transparency to the American people, and I think that's what everyone deserves.
But a full investigation.
Full investigation.
Before anyone
That's right.
points at fault.
That's exactly right.
We can speculate and we can question.
That's why I say I have not made an accusation of something. I just want to make sure we're covering our bases to ensure that we get a proper investigation at all levels to ensure this doesn't happen again and that our president can be safe.
There you go. That was interesting. She did not want him. She did not want the public to say anything. That's what it feels like. Charlie Kirk said, what an incredible moment from Lara Trump's speech tonight. Okay, let's have a look.
Well, it may not be a surprise that I actually had a very different speech that I was prepared to give up here tonight. That all changed at 6:11 on Saturday evening. Nothing prepares you for a moment like that. Our family has faced our fair share of death threats, mysterious powders sent to our homes, tasteless and violent comments directed towards us on social media, but none of that prepares you as a daughter-in-law to watch in real time someone try to kill a person you love. None of that prepares you as a mother to quickly reach for the remote and turn your young children away from the screen so that they're not witness to something that scars the memory of their grandpa for the rest of their lives. The prayers and well wishes we've received over the last 72 hours have been overwhelming, to say the least. And my heart goes out to the family who lost a husband and a father because of this senseless act. All of you here tonight and watching at home mean the world to all of us in the Trump family. If Donald Trump has shown us anything, it's that when it feels impossible to keep going, those are the times we must keep going.
There you go. When it feels too hard, keep going. DC Drano said this pathetic excuse for a Secret Service director is now blaming local police for the Trump shooting. Yes, I'm serious. The lady in charge of protecting presidents is blaming beat cops instead of taking full responsibility for her biggest job. Unreal incompetence. There was local police in that building. There was local police in the area that were responsible for the outer perimeter of the building, Miss Cheadle told ABC News. She's the single biggest Secret Service failure in decades and must resign or be forced out. And she should. She even took responsibility and said the buck stops with her. New DC Drano said new video shows cops struggling to get to the Trump shooter's location, needed a vehicle to ram a fence. So how did he get a rifle and ladder past these fences? Unseen footage shows Secret Service and state police scrambling as there was no apparent contingency plan to get the reactionary squad through the fence. Total failure. My God. You got to be kidding me. Vigilant Fox said Dr. Ben Carson brings down the House with epic Trump tribute.
I saw President Trump, a dear friend, escape death by mere inches, and my thoughts immediately turned to the book of Isaiah that says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Well, let me tell you the weapons that they used. First, they tried to ruin his reputation, and he's more popular now than ever. And then they tried to bankrupt him, and he's got more money now than he had before. And then they tried to put him in prison, and he's freer and has made other people free with him. And then last weekend they tried to kill him, and there he is over there alive and well.
There you go.
I saw.
Okay. Okay, DC Drano said new Jack Black has cancelled the rest of his tour. He was received intense backlash after his Kyle mate Kyle Gass said don't miss Trump next time. An Australian politician also made a formal request for Jack Black and his friend to be deported immediately. Fuck around, find out. Jack Black said, I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it's appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are all on hold. I'm grateful for the fans for their support and understanding. Ooh. And it was it was John Ruddick, I think, that said they should be deported from Australia. Savannah Hernandez said, I just confronted Kristen Welker of NBC News and asked her what her response was to NBC's reporting that the attempted assassination against President Donald Trump was just popping noises. She refused to comment, as did the rest of the NBC crew in tow. Let's have a look.
Excuse me, Kristen, I have a question. NBC reported that when Trump was assassinated, attempted assassination, it was popping noises that was initially reported. Would you like to respond to that? No? Yep. All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez, and this is actually Kristen Welker right behind me of NBC News, the exact same network that reported after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump that it was just popping noises. Kristen, would you like to say anything? No? Would anybody a part of NBC like to say anything about your faulty reporting? Not at all? Okay. So that's your mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen. And we have CNN here, we have MSNBC, we have NBC. So this week I'm really going to try to ask all of these media members what their response is to their networks and this faulty reporting. Excuse me.
Good on her. She's very polite about it too. She did, yeah. Peter Sweden said, whoa, if Trump becomes president again, it'll be the end of the global... Oh, listen to Yuval Noah Harari of the WEF. Listen to this man.
Are you concerned that Trump might be elected again shortly?
I think it's very likely. And if it happens, it is likely to be the kind of like the death blow to what remains of the global order. And he says it openly. Now, again, it should be clear that many of these politicians, they present a false dichotomy, a false binary vision of the world, as if you have to choose between patriotism and globalism, between being loyal to your nation and being loyal to some kind of, I don't know, global government or whatever.
Are you concerned that...
Oh, God, he's full of himself and full of crap too. Okay, Benny Johnson said training to go to the polls for Trump in November. Look, go man, go. Look at him go. Bro's training to be on the front line, mate. It's pretty funny. Okay. Matt Wallace said, after an independent investigation, I've compiled significant evidence that Jill Biden is behind the Trump assassination attempt. Maybe because she took a lot of the Secret Service for her. I mean, therefore I am, said, kudos to this veteran for shaming Karen, who posted on Facebook that Trump's assassin should have been a better shot. He went to where she works. Okay, let's have a look at this.
Are you Darcy Waldron? Yeah?
I was Waldron, yeah.
Okay, from Cayuga? And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook?
I am at work.
You think that the shooter should have been a shooter, huh?
I am at work.
Yeah, I think that's pretty messed up. Pretty anti-American, if you ask me. As a veteran, I'm disgusted. What have you provided to this country? Huh? I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You are ridiculous. And I'm making you famous. Are you Darcy Waldron?
There you go. Wow. Give it back to him. DC Drano said, say what you will about Amber Rose, but she has over 24.3 million followers on Instagram and 3.6 million on X. I'm going to assume the overwhelming majority of those followers are not Republicans. If she motivates just a measly 4% of her fans to vote for Trump, that's more than 1.1 million new votes. Biden took it in 2020 by less than 50,000 votes in 3 states. Strategy. I agree, because a lot of people are apparently going off on Amber Rose being, behind him. Dan Scavino Jr. said, chills, RNC 2024. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, not even an assassin's bullet, could stop him. God Almighty intervened. Let's have a listen.
an assassin's bullet could stop him. God Almighty intervened because America is one nation under God, and He is certainly not finished with President Trump.
I agree. God love him. Okay, Luke Radowski said the head of a Secret Service thinks you're this stupid. Ah, bit of a slanted roof there, have we? But she didn't want them up on the slanted roof here. Well, this looks more slanted than this is. Check it out. Elon Musk said visual approximation of Secret Service Directors Cheetos foolproof assassination protection strategy. That's what it is. Okay? Oh dear. Matt Wallace said the fact that the head of Secret Service CIA plant, Kimberly Cheadle, still has not been fired yet tells you everything. Seems like it was an inside job. The three-letter agency is in full control of the White House right now. It seems. Libs of TikTok said, "Hi, Secret Service. This hairstylist in Denver is currently having a meltdown because the shooter missed and is threatening to try again." This guy is hoping to try again. He said, when at first you don't succeed, try again. That mother had one job. So close, he said. Disgusting. Libs of TikTok said, literally an open threat. Libs of TikTok is going hard, tagging the Secret Service and all these people. Falling for you, Stan. Nikki Couture said, R.I.P. Thomas Matthew Crook. You did your best. We'll get him next time. What the hell went on there? I don't know, but my Twitter just went back to normal. Ian Yeager said, breaking Rep. Lauren Boebert has introduced a bill to defund the salary of the Director of the United States Secret Service. Go, Lauren. Do it. Okay, here we go. Viva Fry said they wouldn't want to put a Secret Service agent on a sloped roof because that would be a security concern. So they secured it from the inside. You ready for this one?
When you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously. For the former president.
Investigators now trying to determine whether roof access had been properly locked down. The shooter climbing up seemingly unimpeded, about 400 feet from the stage, with a direct line of sight on the former president.
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
When you saw the events unfold on...
You got to be kidding me. This lady is dumb. She should go back to guarding Cheetos. Lauren Boebert said, Secret Service Director is a she. I'm sure that's difficult for someone who doesn't know what a woman is. Ready for this one? Listen carefully.
Is it acceptable that you have still not heard, at least publicly, from the Secret Service Director?
Oh, I've heard from him.
But have you heard from her publicly?
Publicly, I've sat down in a situation room downstairs with the Secret Service, the FBI, the national security agencies, the Homeland Security, all the major elements.
Is it acceptable?
He said, I've heard of him, or spoken to him. Libs of TikTok said, meet Josie Penner, a specialist ED paraprofessional at Martin's MS_CCTX. She's so sad the shooter missed and prays the next one successful. She said, sorry, President Biden, we're so sad they missed the shot. Good people die every day. That makes a difference in people's lives. This one cow deserves all the bad that's coming his way. She prays the next one is successful. So slowly these people are getting fired from their jobs, by the way. Libs of TikTok said, Secret Service Director a few months ago, we're focusing on hiring more women to be diverse. Yesterday, female agent couldn't holster gun. Female agent frantically shouted, what are we doing? Where are we going after the shots? The result of DEI got someone killed. Now, part of it, yes, but I don't believe it's all just that's a very big part of it. But I reckon it was allowed. Juanita Broderick said Kim Cheadle landed a job after a push by Jill, by a three-letter agency, by the way. Just exactly how long has Jill Biden been in charge? There you go. Kim Cheadle handed a job after push by Jill. How long has Jill been in charge? How long has Biden been sort of, non-coherent? Incoherent? Libs of TikTok, sorry, I was just yawning then, having a stretch. Libs of TikTok said breaking Phil Whipple, an employee of Rayson, has been terminated following his threats for another assassination attempt. He tried to claim he was hacked. Nobody's buying it. Fuck around, find out. We're aware of the post made this morning by Phil Whipple. Those statements made reflect the view of Phil and not Rayson. Our racing community, sponsors or partners. Phil's relationship with Raytheon's been terminated. Hey, rednecks, the next shooter isn't going to miss. This was just to get your attention. I'll see it worked quite well. By September 1st, that man will be... Oh, he's threatening him, this Phil Whipple. And the half of us in this great nation who understand what a threat he is to democracy will stand and cheer. Other posts. My Facebook post is subject to hacking, just like yours. I did not write the offensive post, wasn't even awake at that time. 3 other posts were comprised as well. All have been taken down as I create a new page. I do not know. No, that's not how you spell no. Nor have I ever condoned... I do not now, nor have I ever condoned violence against any person or living thing, thank you. Sure. We believe you. Sure. John Lefevre said, this is Kimberly Cheadle. She's a Secret Service director. She deleted all of her text messages on and before J6. They were never recovered. Oh, it goes deeper. Okay, then you got this. Greg said, found the Secret Service agent in charge of drone coverage during the speech. Oh, there goes his milk as well. Yep, that was the drone operator. Okay. Jake Shields said this is exactly why women should not be police, military, or Secret Service. Her one job was to jump in front and take a bullet for Trump, but instead she cowered behind him. This one. The one that couldn't holster her a gun. I don't even blame the girl. I blame those who hired her. Yep, should be behind a desk where it's safe. Those designers said just a picture of a Secret Service agent standing on the roof of the White House. It's a bit of a pitched roof, isn't it? Bit of a slant there. They're standing there, that's fine. But no, not on that really slightly pitched roof that the shooter was on. John Rich said, I nominate is it Dan? Don? Hang on, which one? Got to get the right name because there's Dan Bongino to overhaul the FBI and Secret Service when DJT wins. Dan would fix this nonsense in less than a week. Repost if you agree. Dan's the man. Yep. Get her done. For sure. Okay. Libs of TikTok said, hi, Cal Lutheran. Is this one of your employees? CC, the Secret Service. She said, I hope next time they don't miss, and I hope this isn't the last attempt too. I would love to do it myself if I wasn't so far away. Oh, not very nice. A professor at Lutheran University is literally threatening to take Trump out on her public Facebook page with a name, face, and employer attached. Silly woman. Josh Hawley posted, what we saw Saturday was the worst security failure for a president since JFK. Someone needs to resign. Secretary Mayorkas and the head of the Secret Service need to testify in public under oath. I agree. They do. And we got this one. Libs of TikTok said, attention everyone near Oak Brook, Illinois. Is that right? United American Marketing employs this man who thinks someone would successfully assassinate a US president he doesn't like would be a hero, and says he's openly calling for one at Secret Service. This person here. So you're openly calling for the assassination of a former president? I can promise you your little fairy tale world will be all right when he's president again. This was talking to him, and he said, he said, Diana Marks, you and Steve better get your extremist son before he winds up on a terrorist list. Stephen Marks said, if the president is a fascist dictator that is responsible for 1 million deaths, including someone in our family, then yeah, man. What million deaths? Stephen, the same person, said, moral of the story, you can't be an American hero if you have bad aim. And apparently he works here. Energy Equipment and Solutions in Oak Brook, Illinois. Huh. Stu Peters said women have no place in the Secret Service at any level. Yep. Women at the Secret Service. Women working as special agents, uniformed division officers, and administrative, professional and technical APT personnel at the Secret Service fulfill our agency's public safety and security mission with integrity and strength. The Secret Service prioritises recruiting women candidates. Oh dear God. Kimberly A. Cheadle is an American law enforcement officer who served as director of the United States Secret Service since September 2022. She previously held multiple roles in the United States Secret Service over 25 years. Oh, it's that revolving door, is it? PepsiCo.
Good morning, Officer Coleman.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What is it like being a woman in a traditionally male career field?
So I've been with the Secret Service for almost 25 years, and I can honestly say that I have been nothing but supported in the agency as a woman. My wish and my hope, obviously, as things evolve in the profession, no different than military, firefighters, a lot of careers that are male-dominated, that we continue to have more representation with women. We offer a huge perspective and background, so I'd like to see us continue to evolve and also to grow in representation because of our unique perspective in this field. I appreciate the opportunity to sit down with you and for you asking me questions. However, this is Women's History Month and we're celebrating women, and I wanted the opportunity to talk to you and find out what made you join this profession.
All this sorry if you believe in it, but celebrating women BS? No, look, I've had enough. This is BS, and you should not be... Oh my God, I can't get rid of it. Oh, where'd it go? Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, found it again. This is ridiculous. They should not be on the front line in any... Not in the army, not in the fire brigade, not in the police. Honestly, they should not be there. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. Okay, that was the car crash again. Josh Hawley said, as president was just shot, Mayorkas has 100% confidence in Secret Service leadership. Why does Mayorkas still have a job? Town Hall said Mayorkas have 100% confidence in the director of the United States Secret Service. Oh, dear God.
On that, does the president have confidence in the Secret Service director after Saturday's failures?
I have 100% confidence in the director of the United States Secret Service. I have 100% confidence in the United States Secret Service. And what you saw on stage on Saturday with respect to individuals putting their own lives at risk for the protection of another is exactly what the American public should see every single day. It is what I indeed do.
On that,
Oh, I don't want to hear him again. He needs to be fired. So does she. Then we got this. Proud Army Brat said, how does a 20-year-old loner that never had a job, lived at home, outsmart the PA State Police, Butler County Local Police and the US Secret Service so effortlessly that he was able to climb a ladder with a rifle and spend 4 minutes preparing his aim before getting shots off? How? Well, apparently now they knew he was there for 25 to 30 minutes beforehand. Rep. Lauren Boebert said, Breaking on Tuesday, the Secret Service had agreed to brief the House Oversight Committee. Now Homeland Security has stepped in, superseded all communications with the Oversight Committee, and has refused to confirm a briefing will occur. This is shady. I won't be backing off. Good on you. DC Drano said, are you 5'4" and obese, can't holster a gun, love wearing sunglasses and suit jackets, afraid in emergencies? Boy, does the Secret Service have a job for you. Then you got this one. Libs of TikTok said, meet Brian Thomas, a teacher at Easter Seals Arc, an organisation which helps people with disabilities. He's very sad that the shooter missed and hopes someone tries again. Dear God, what is wrong with these people? Salty Goat said, so here's a little fun fact you all may not know. When the motorcade was leaving Love Field Airport in Dallas, the Secret Service agent that always rode on the back of the bumper behind JFK was ordered away from his position. The president was dead 30 minutes later. Funny how history repeats itself. Isn't it? Then Liz Churchill said, incredible. I was also told the Secret Service Director has been given instructions from the administration and the DHS Secretary Mayorkas that if you want to keep your job, you'll keep your mouth shut about this. Hey?
So I was just showing Tucker some material from an unimpeachable source, let's just say, on the matter. That post, according to my source, that roof was supposed to be a police post. It was supposed to be someone there. They're now making up excuses, saying the pitch of the roof. My source says to me no one knows why the post didn't show up. But so that's a nonsense story they're putting out in the media. And I was also told that the Secret Service Director has been given instructions from the administration and the DHS Secretary. If you want to keep your job, you'll keep your mouth shut about this. They're not putting that out there, but if you get those site post logs and those police instructions and there was a post on there and they didn't show up and no one checked, someone could have got your dad killed within millimeters.
Wow. Really interesting. Okay. Then we got this one. DC Drano, friendly DEI reminder. The point of being on Secret Service presidential detail is that you're supposed to take a bullet for him. Not make him take a bullet for you, this lady. Look. All the men are standing up and rushing towards it. This lady's down, crouched down, making sure she doesn't get hurt, see? Babylon B said Secret Service vows to find out what went wrong at the Trump rally as soon as they figure out who left cocaine in the White House. And as soon as they can figure out where all the Jeffrey Epstein list of customers are, and so on and so on. Okay, another one. Meet Donald Brockhausen, a medical assistant at Northwell Health. He appears upset the shooter missed and suggests someone attempt another one. Wow. You want to hope you never get this one, medical assistant. Johnny Maga said, holy smokes, CNN reports the shooter went through Secret Service security with a rangefinder early in the day. No one found that suspicious at all. Okay. Wow.
Aaron, there's been some developments as the investigation has progressed. You know, what the investigators are telling us is, as far as a motive, a manifesto, the reasoning behind this, the suspect is still a blank slate. But what they have developed is a lot of the background about what happened that day. They know that he went to his employer at the nursing home where he works as a dietary specialist before this and said, I need Saturday off. I have something important to do. But he told his coworkers, I'll see you on Sunday. So he changed his days off, presumably for this. We also understand that when he got to the fairgrounds where this rally was being held for Donald Trump, the first thing that puts him on the radar of security people is near the magnetometer area where they're screening people in. He's carrying in his hand a rangefinder. It's a device that looks like a small pair of binoculars, but it's used by shooters to measure the distance when they're setting up a long-distance shot. Because he didn't have a weapon, that would not have prevented him to go through security, but they did flag, what does he have this in his hand for? At that point, they told people, keep an eye on this guy, but then he leaves the secure area, the staging area, and he doesn't turn up again for some time until the crowd says there's a guy crawling up the roof and it appears he has a rifle. There is an eerie moment in here, Aaron, where he's taking the rangefinder and he's looking through it at the counter-sniper positions, and one of the counter-sniper positions is looking at him through the scope. At this point, there's not a gun in the picture, as I understand it, but they're saying he's looking at us, looking at him. Then when people alert the police and they try to come up the ladder to get him, and he confronts them with the AR-15 gun, they dive for cover, and then a moment later he opens fire. But
hang on, was there a ladder there or not? Because now police are saying that one policeman lifted another policeman up because they couldn't get up there because there was no ladder. And when the bloke turned around and aimed at him, he just jumped back down. And so was there a ladder or was there not? And how did he get the ladder and gun? Look, regardless of whether there was a ladder, how did he get the gun in there? If he didn't have it on him at the time, where did it come from? They were already sus on him.
a lot of this sounds very spread out. The end of it happens very quickly. The last piece is the search of the car. As we reported last night, 2 remote-controlled IEDs, remote-controlled bombs in the car. The remote control for those devices found on his person on the roof, according to sources. 3 fully loaded magazines with nearly 100 rounds, a bulletproof vest. So it raises the question, did he expect to escape from this? And if so, what was all that intended for? What was to happen next? Questions that are still open in the minds of these investigators.
Exactly. Okay. And we have Wall Street Ape said, whoa, listen to this. Secret Service Kim Cheadle shared close ties to the Cheneys. The Bidens is responsible for the J6 deleted text scandal. She evacuated Vice President Dick Cheney on 9/11. You cannot tell me this wasn't an inside job. She would know. The 28-year veteran was on the team that evacuated Vice President Dick Cheney on 9/11, and she served on then Vice President Biden's protective detail. He named her director in mid-2022. New election. Amid swirl of controversy, agency deleting nearly all of its text messages from January 6. The agency says it was due to a data migration. System migrations happen. But I think for a lot of Americans it just doesn't pass the smell test, given the timing and volume of messages deleted. Well, it's unfortunate that would be the assumption that people would make. Our integrity is everything, and there was nothing nefarious attached to that. Wow.
She would know. The 28-year veteran was on the team that evacuated Vice President Dick Cheney on 9/11, and she served on then Vice President Biden's protective detail. He named her director in mid-2022. Amid a swirl of controversy over the agency deleting nearly all of its text messages from January 6th. The agency says that was due to a data migration.
System migrations happen, but I think for a lot of Americans, it just doesn't pass the smell test, given the timing and the volume of messages deleted.
Well, it's unfortunate that would be the assumption that people would make. Our integrity is everything, and there was nothing nefarious attached to that.
Their integrity has... She would know.
Jeez. There you go. Just gets deeper and deeper, doesn't it? Rumors, Matt Wallace said, rumors are circulating the Trump assassination attempt was an inside job after the release of this angle, and that shows this is a different line of sight from this bloke. Another camera angle. Okay, Ian Miles Chong said they want you to believe this 20-year-old basket case is totally capable of outsmarting the entire US Secret Service and the FBI, and they just can't seem to crack his phone. It's not like they got a whole agency dedicated to that or anything. Maybe the government is either lying through their teeth, or they're just so incompetent that mass firings are the only logical next step. Yeah, it's getting more and more ridiculous. What's this now? Libs of TikTok said, I laughed so hard when I heard the news. I really wish they'd finished. Oh, this is what this person's saying, is it?
Okay, so none of us are dumb enough to actually believe the Trump shooting today was anything but a setup. I laughed so hard when I heard the news, mostly because the only thought that could come to mind is what kind of hack job would fuck up an assassination unless they were paid to miss on purpose. Because they were most likely paid to miss on purpose. I really wish they had finished the job. Done the world a huge favor. Because remember, it's illegal to wish death on a president, but it's not illegal to do so on a presidential candidate.
What?
Love a good legal loophole.
Weirdo. Okay, Not a Democrat said you were about to be visited by Secret Service, and Jamie Ramirez said, I'm not afraid of a Secret Service and I'm not afraid of death. So the possibility of it happening does not scare me. I have no loyalties to America, except despite being American. Wow. And this guy. Wall Street Ape said the momentum for Donald Trump is hard to put into words. Here's a video. It's just a man standing in a warehouse singing the song God Bless the USA with the caption, America. This video is approaching 250,000 likes. This is incredible. Okay, let's have a listen. He's really good, apparently. I've got to watch my volume. Where am I? All right. Let's see how we go.
If tomorrow all things were gone, I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be standing here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American's heart, and it's time to stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Wow, that was so good. I did not want to interrupt or or kill that with my voice. I didn't want to do that. So there you go. I'm going to leave it at that for today. I will be back. Oh, hang on. He was so good. Anyway, yeah, I didn't want to ruin it, so I didn't sing. Okay, God bless the USA. And I'll be back tomorrow with more. We'll have more news on this and other things as well. So hopefully, I think I'll do a video. What day is it today? I don't even know what day it is. It's Thursday, okay. I will be back with a video tomorrow and then live on Saturday. Okay, guys, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.